Date 2. I said he sexualizes me too much. Now he hasn't initiated anything for 6 months and I'm the bad guy? At first, I felt relieved. Finally, I could just exist in my own house without feeling like every interaction was charged with sexual tension. I could hug my husband without him getting turned on, could cuddle on the couch without his body responding. It's exactly what I thought I wanted. But by the end of the first week, something felt off. I was doing dishes one evening, and Austin walked past me to get something from the fridge. Normally, he would have squeezed my waist or smacked my butt or at least said something flirty. Instead, he just said excuse me and went about his business. It felt so formal, like we were roommates instead of married. When I tried to bring it up, asking why he'd stopped being affectionate, Austin's explanation was so logical it made me want to scream. You said my physical responses were disgusting, he said calmly. I don't want to risk getting aroused and making you uncomfortable again. I argued back that it was impossible for him to show me affection without getting excited, trying to point out how ridiculous he was being. But Austin just shrugged and said, it happens naturally when I'm close to you. Since I can't control it, the only solution is to avoid situations where it might happen. The worst part was how reasonable he sounded, like he'd thought this through and decided this was the most logical way to handle my complaint. But it wasn't what I wanted at all. I wanted him to find a way to be affectionate without the sexual response, not to just stop being affectionate altogether. So you're just going to punish me forever because I asked you to tone it down? I asked him one night after he politely declined to cuddle while we watched a movie. I'm not punishing you, he said, not even looking at me. I'm respecting your boundaries. You made it clear that my physical responses make you uncomfortable, so I'm making sure that doesn't happen anymore. I could hear the hurt in his voice even though he was trying to sound neutral, and that's when it hit me that maybe I'd gone too far. But instead of apologizing, I got defensive. Why should I have to apologize for asking my husband to control himself? Why was I the bad guy for not wanting to feel sexualized every time he touched me? But the thing is, I was starting to miss feeling desired. I missed the way Austin used to look at me like I was the most beautiful woman in the world. I missed feeling wanted and attractive and irresistible to my own husband. Now, he looked at me the same way he looked at anyone else, polite, respectful, but without that special spark that used to make me feel so special. I started trying to initiate more, hoping to spark some of that old passion. But Austin would respond just enough to not reject me completely, then pull back before things could get too heated. It was like he was keeping himself on a tight leash, and I hated it. 3 months in, I was feeling more unwanted than ever before in our marriage. I'd get dressed up hoping Austin would compliment me, but he'd just say I looked nice in the same tone he'd used to comment on the weather. I'd try to be flirty or suggestive, but he'd just smile politely and change the subject. The irony wasn't lost on me. I'd complained about feeling sexualized, and now I felt completely desexualized. Austin was treating me exactly like I'd asked him to, like someone he could touch without any sexual response, and it was making me miserable. By month 4, I was going crazy. Austin had turned into this polite, distant version of himself, and I was starting to panic that I'd permanently broken something between us. He still did nice things for me, still helped around the house, still asked about my day, but it all felt so surface level, like he was going through the motions of being a good husband without any of the passion or desire that used to drive those actions. I tried everything to get a reaction out of him. I'd wear his favorite outfits, cook his favorite meals, suggest watching movies I knew he liked. But Austin had apparently mastered the art of appreciating me without getting aroused by me, and it was driving me insane. How was this the same man who used to get turned on just from seeing me in his t-shirt?